Prescott. I work for Fiat-Chrysler. Been with Chrysler for about 20 years now, working on work-life programs. So I bring employee, if you want to say soft, family-oriented programs to employees to save them time so that they don't have to seek counseling after hours or research troubles within their home life during business hours. In some cases, the employees just want information relative to their own situation. So to bring in the subject matter expert on a topic, like what Ted presents from Boys 101, the employees love it because they can engage, they can ask questions, they get really an efficient response, and then they can take off in a direction and test it out. Ted has been here now 3 times based on employee demand, which is wonderful. They're getting something out of it. The way that Ted engages employees in the conversation and in the solution, finding and identifying the solution and putting action in place, makes it seem really doable. So the employees understand that approach, and he provides tons of stories based on his experience over many, many years that employees can understand and almost see themselves in. So if you can relate to the story, most of them can at some level, then they can apply it, test it out, try it, and then they sign up again for the next session that I invite Ted on site to speak about, and then they relay that information progress-wise. It's an amazing way that he presents information to employees and engages with them to make them feel like they are heard and they're validated and they can get this. Ted could talk to any group, anybody that's a parent is always seeking, expertise and advice on how to better, run your family or work with your family to get the results that you're looking for. Absolutely. Yeah, this is a no-brainer. I mean, when I can show up in a conference room and Ted, he knows his stuff. So he already knows how he's going to present. Basically, it's me just getting the room to support Ted's presentation and making sure, the audience is always there. I mean, there's always a need. There's always people that are going to sign up and show up. And it's all been good and easy, and he's easy enough to work with. And I wouldn't invite him back in if he, there are some groups that have presented that have failed miserably. Ted is not one of those. I know I can count on employee engagement when Ted's here. While I was in session today with Ted presenting, out in the audience was one of my coworkers. She's in human resources. She had texted me mid-presentation and she's like, "This is great. I love this. This is so worthwhile. And are you going to invite him in again?" And of course I'm going to invite him in again. So it's nice to get that feedback. And then also, as was typical with the last 2 presentations when Ted was here, as people are, exiting at the very last minute. I mean, it's an hour-and-a-half long presentation, which in FCA world is an incredibly long presentation. But when you have an engaged audience, they don't want to just walk away, prior to it ending. But I had people that were passing me saying how wonderful it was and thank you. So I can foresee, us inviting by demand Ted on site to present probably over the next however long he wants to do it. The genesis of this, this parenting type of a course was to have spin-offs of groups, subgroups that could invite in a subject matter expert on whatever topic. So it could be preschool, milestones, whatever. So almost on its own, without me putting forth any effort, one of the women that were in a previous session contacted Ted directly and said, "Hey, can you come on site and present to Ted, to 10 individuals in a conference room?" And then it kind of went backwards. So I achieved my goal to have the spin-off without me having to do anything because the employees got it and they created this small group. He's amazing. He has amazing credentials. He presents well. I mean, it's super. And yeah, I'll continue to invite him in, like I said, until he decides he doesn't want to do this anymore.